We're going to be streaming here a first team game, 2v2 game. It looks like we have Deaf Monkey, and let me know if the sound is coming across fine. It's Deaf Monkey versus Deaf Monkey and, well, Mohawk Test Machine. That's actually Freak versus Tosicus and Chump. So I'm able to switch between the different players in my commentation. Let's see here. So what we're probably going to see is each of these players are in a room by themselves. Each of these teams are in their own room, so they're able to communicate back and forth. They're probably going to divide the resources between them and then share them. So in the team game, like let's say you're producing a lot of food and water, you can click a button to share that with your teammate. And of course, since you get bonuses for putting buildings of the same type next to each other, it makes totally sense for one player to go all food, another player to go all oxygen and fuel, for example. One player might go all aluminum, another player might go all steel. Alright, so we got the first player founding. Chump is founded. And he's gone scavenger. He's got some 2 sources of carbon next to him. I would have liked to have seen more carbon than that. This doesn't seem to be a really high carbon map, so as you can see, here's the distribution of resources. Only 5 sources of carbon on this whole map. So I'm not sure if Scavenger was really a great play for Team Ivan. Okay, so Tosicus has gone down too, so they're both going carbon. In fact, they're both producing carbon. Not sure if that was a great move for them. We'll see. Because again, on the other hand, you could look at it this way: they've essentially got all the carbon on the map at this point. There's a couple more spot here. One more over here, so there is some more carbon on the map. So if they really they could really take they could be taking a big risk here, and then they might not be getting enough carbon for themselves, but they may also be going for the hacker array to cause is he going for, what's that? He's going for probably silicon. No, the high silicon up here probably. Yeah, Team Ivan might be trying to essentially corner the market on carbon, build some hacker arrays, and then start shorting carbon to drive up the price. Alright, we got water engines up for auction. This lets you power your units with water instead of fuel. So that's that can be useful if you have a lot of if you're going to be shipping a lot of resources. Let's see. I see I'm switching over to Team Dimitri right now. Looks like they've opened up all of their resources to share. You see these little blue and red symbols. That means that the blue symbol means that the blue player is sharing his resources with red, and the red symbol means the red player is sharing his resources with blue. So they both have access to all of their stockpiles. Let's see what the other team is doing. They have not shared any resources yet. Team Ivan is not sharing any resources. Okay, so here's the first one. So now green player is sharing oxygen, carbon, silicon, and glass. Let me switch over to, so now I'm looking at the green player. See, he's producing some carbon, he's producing some silicon, he's going to share that. He's obviously going to be making some glass soon. So they've opened up a lot of their resources for sharing. These players are obviously putting a lot of trust in each other. Because of course, if you're sharing stockpiles, like let's say you're sharing the carbon stockpile, both of the players are going to be, waiting for the carbon to accumulate to upgrade their colony. But, Tosicus might, use up all that carbon, and then suddenly Chump is not able to upgrade his colony because, Tosicus grabbed all of the carbon. Alright, Freak just got hit by a resource bomb right here. Makes sense. That was a tile that, I don't know if it had... It looks like it probably had high aluminum and medium iron. Wow, that's an incredible tile. No wonder he got hit. Now this is the type of thing you wouldn't see in a non-team game. He's got 3 metal mines on aluminum and iron, getting huge 100% bonuses. So he's producing huge amounts. Let me switch over to him. So you can see he's producing huge amounts of aluminum, 4 per second. And not as much iron because he just got nuked. Actually, it's interesting. See, he's producing. You see, it says he's producing +2 from his metal mine, but -3 from Def Monkey. So basically, Freak is creating the iron, and if I switch over to Def Monkey, see, Def Monkey is making the steel out of it. So let me jump to his colony. So he used 3 claims to build steel mills. That's a good move in the team game. Essentially, one player is saying, I'm just going to do metal mines, get the 100% bonus in all 3, and the other player is saying, I'm just going to do steel mills, get the 100% bonus in all 3 of those. I don't see a lot of life support between them. Are they just okay? It looks like they're starting to get some up. Freak is dedicating himself up to water. Wow, we already have 2 players at level 3. The team game can go really fast because if you organize your resources well, your distribution of resources well, you can produce them faster than you could individually. Okay, now Perpetual Motion's coming up for auction. That should go really high. The power has drifted up. It seems like I don't see a lot of people have focused on power too much here. I see that, okay, there are a couple geotherms up. There's a solar panel up here. What else is there? I don't see a whole lot of other power. So obviously there's not enough power on the board. So this one should go high. I bet this could go up to 18. All right, Tosagus got it for 14,000, and you can see now that cut his power consumption in half. So now he's making 82 a second, whereas before he was probably making much less. But of course, Tosagus got hit by a dynamite right afterwards. So he got Perpetual Motion, which cut his power consumption in half. But then, of course, the other side decided to blow up his geotherm. It's a very good move. So now he's actually, even though he has Perpetual Motion, he's now losing money on power. All right. So team 1, Team Dimitri is now both of them are at size level 3. You see Freak is producing a ton of water, ton of oxygen and fuel, and the base metals, whereas Def Monkey is producing, oh, that's weird. I don't know if they're so organized here. They're both producing oxygen and fuel. And Def Monkey is producing glass and steel. What are they doing? None of them is building glass, food. You see, they're both negative in food. I mean, they've shared everything, so they're essentially both just working in the same stockpile. I don't know if they are miscommunicating there, or because not only are they both producing oxygen and fuel, but naturally so, the price of food is a lot higher because they're both essentially forced to buy it from the market. So Team Ivan could really take advantage of that. See, they have the correct distribution where Chump is building food and Tosagus is building electrolysis. Although they're both building electrolysis, they're not splitting their production well. I think that they should have Chump should have done 3 farms, and Tosagus should have done 3 reactors, and then they could have done something else with one of then Chump could have done something else with one of his claims here. So not really a great great organization here. You see, there's some more wind turbines are coming up. They're going to have to do something about this energy market. It looks like Team Dimitri is in the negative for energy, and Team Ivan is very much in the positive. So this is one thing that they're not sharing. Tosagus is not sharing his power. Instead, he's making 300 a second from power, where Chump is just kind of barely eking along. I don't know if that's they're doing that on purpose, or so that they can make all that money, or not. We'll have to see. All right, claim auction is coming up. Claims are currently 9,000 in the black market, but claim auction should go for higher than on the black market because you're buying it with debt. They should bid higher than this. This should go for at least 14,000. All right. Yep, like I said, 14,000 to Chump. I think that's a good purchase. Let's see what he does with it. Another farm. Well, that makes sense. So they are going to focus on. And look at this. He has, as I talked about, they should be splitting their production on food and oxygen. And so Chump has deleted his electrolysis reactors, and he's building something else. Might be building glass. Might be building electronics. We'll find out very soon. They have definitely have one of the nice things about being scavenger is you're well suited to go in electronics because you're going to be making carbon no matter what, and they also have a source of aluminum and silicon. So we're about to find out what he's built here. Oh, it's an industrial lab. Oh yeah, these are both advanced buildings because they're going up to 40. So we have an industrial lab, might be a hacker array, is it a patent office? No, Pleasure Dome. He doesn't want to let Team Dimitri get all of the Pleasure Dome money for themselves. Okay, so interesting to see here. Freak. Ivan has gone for the industrial lab. Dimitri has gone for the patent office. So far, he's not actually researching any patents. He should probably make a chemical lab. Instead, he builds an electronics factory. I'm not sure about that choice. Electronics is selling for more, but chemical labs produces double the amount of chemicals. A chemical lab will produce twice as many chemicals as an electronics factory produces electronics. So I think they should have gone chemicals lab so they can start researching patents. At any rate, Freak has started discovering the first patent. Carbon scrubbing. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe they're worried about the other side getting a monopoly on carbon, because of course they grabbed all those carbon spots early on in the game. They don't have a hacker array up, so they're not looking like they're going to short it yet, but if they do research carbon scrubbing, what carbon scrubbing does is it means that you don't need, your buildings no longer need a source of carbon. It just sort of gets it from the atmosphere, because of course the atmosphere in Mars is basically carbon dioxide. So I can see that would be a very, very good patent. Now look at this right here. This is a sign of perhaps bad base arrangement on the part of Freak. You've got what we got here? 5, 6, 7 buildings that got hit at once by an EMP because they're all kind of clustered together here. I think what would have been better is if Freak could put his water mines here. They kind of have to go there because that's where the water is. They should have put a Pleasure Dome here and then put his electrolysis reactors up here. That way, each of these chunks, the farms, the water pumps, and electrolysis reactors are all in different areas. They can't get hit all by the same EMP. On the other, okay, nanotech is up for auction. It lets you delete your building. When you delete your buildings, you get the resources back. Not a hugely useful tech right now, so going for it. It looks like they still haven't fixed. Dimitri has still not fixed their resource production issue, in that both of them are still producing oxygen and fuel, although basically Freak has run out of room to optimize his electrolysis, so that might be why they're doing it. I assume we're going to see some more factories come online here. Going to get the factory triangle, so you get the 100% bonus. It's just like how down here. Okay, so they are producing chemicals. That's good for the patent office. What other patents do they have coming online? None of them queued up. They both have industrial labs in place. That's good. Let's see what they're doing. They're researching water. Well, that makes sense because water is double the price of food and oxygen. Actually, what would be the smart move right here is actually to turn off your farms. Turn off your farms and your electrolysis. So this is kind of a funny thing here. Is getting, again, he gets EMP'd. That makes sense because water is so expensive. But that, at the same time, that knocks off the reactors. It's not that big of a deal. But right now, basically, people should be turning off their farms, turning off their reactors. We'll see what happens once these water pumps come back online, whether Freak decides to turn off his farms or not. Now going over to Team Ivan's side. What we got here? They aren't turning off their farms, aren't turning off their reactors. They're all burning through burning off their water. This is a bad move by both teams. They should be turning off their water-consuming buildings and just selling the water directly. Because look at this. It takes 2 units of water to make 1 unit of food. So basically it takes $260 worth of water to make $70 worth of food. That's pretty, you don't have to be a MBA to know that that's not going to be very profitable. And of course, you're also burning power as you do that. I should mention, however, that as you get the farm bonuses for the adjacency, then it's actually more of a one-to-one thing. If you get the 100% bonus, that means you're turning 1 water into 1 food. So it's not quite as bad as I'm making it out to be. But still, if water is more expensive than food, you should be absolutely turning off your farms. So if someone EMP'd his farms here, he would actually be doing Chump a favor. Okay, almost everyone's up to level 5. Oh, we got 3. Okay, first Offworld Market is up here. I assume we're going to see a Goon Squad on it. Yep, we're going to see a Goon Squad on it. We got 3 hacker arrays. Let's see what's going on with hacker arrays. Are they shorting carbon like I predicted? No, they're shorting. Pirates are up for auction. I don't know if this will go for a whole lot. Well, if are there some water supply lines? There probably are. In that case, it would definitely, yeah, see, someone is shipping water here. Yeah, if you put a power here, that would be worth a ton. They actually should have gone for more. All right, so they're shorting, who am I looking at? I'm looking at Team Dimitri. They're shorting electronics. That is...
The black market is online.
They have 80 electronics, but I'm guessing the other side has electronics too. Nope, I was wrong. For some reason, T-Vivan is not producing any electronics at all. So that electronic shortage is a good move by Team Dimitri. What are they doing with their hacker ray? They're trying to short energy. It's an interesting move because Toxicus is positive in energy, but Chump is negative. As I've been speaking, Freak is making a move on Toxicus. He's bought up about half of his stock. Most of that money is probably coming from the Offworld market. Let's see what he's shipping right now.
The black market is online.
Launched. Look at all the money.
He's launching glass. That's interesting. Well, glass is not very expensive. And it's selling for about 400. Actually, the Offworld prices are not that high this game. Sometimes you'll see them in the 600 or 700s. Well, food is 700. I'm not sure why he's not buying food and shipping that Offworld. He'd be making twice as much money if he was doing that. I'm sure he'll probably start doing that soon. But anyway, at this point where he owns half of Toxicus, he's in a pretty good position. Having said that, we've got kind of an interesting resource stock split here. Freak has a huge stock price, $22, probably largely funded by the Offworld market, and he's sending more glass Offworld. I'm not sure why he's not sending off the food. That's kind of weird. Def Monkey is cheap enough that perhaps they can make a run on Hoove. Someone tried to dynamite. Yeah, it looks like Toxicus tried to blow up Freak's Offworld market. That makes sense. He's got two Offworld markets. They're both protected by a Goon Squad. Okay, now he's sending fuel Offworld. I don't know why he's not sending food. That's really weird. Food is super expensive Offworld. Let's see how they're using their hacker arrays. I'm gonna switch over to the other side. Oh, and that's it. Someone just got bought out. All right. So what's going on here?
Your stock is being bought.
All right. So they bought out. So Freak bought out Toxicus. Oh, Chump is making a run on Freak. Let's see. Does he have enough money? Does he have? He doesn't have any Offworld market. I don't know how he's going to be able to get enough money to buy out Freak. Freak's at $28. And at the same time, Def Monkey has an Offworld market too. So they're both, they've got the Offworld markets. They're going to be able to pick Chump up pretty easily. It's just a question of how long it's going to take. I'm looking at Chump. Does he have anything up his sleeve? He's trying a food shortage. All right, so he thinks he's got more food than he's sitting on 200 food, and oh well, Team Dimitri has 0 food, so it is a good idea. Doing a food shortage is a good way to make some cash, but I don't think it's going to be enough to compete with 3 Offworld markets.
Your stock is being bought.
And he's hitting him with an EMP right here. Well, very well. They don't know that he's trying to short food, but they did knock out all of his food. Maybe Freak saw that saw that Chump has probably more farms than he needs, and he's probably suspecting that he's shorting food. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Now, at this place, Freak's price is up to $40. That's going to be really hard to compete with. And Def Monkey is chipping in here by buying up Freak's stock. So that's a good move. That helps basically protect Freak from getting bought out by Chump. Theoretically, Def Monkey could get bought out by Chump, and Freak would still be able to win the game by buying out Chump. So Def Monkey's kind of not worrying about it himself. He's sort of, in a way, taking one for the team by focusing on protecting his partner instead of protecting himself. But at any rate, it looks like the game's almost over here. Dorian's just about to finish off. Yep, and there we go. So congratulations to Team 1. Congratulations to Freak and Def Monkey. They've won the first. I can kind of hear their voices across the in the office next door. They won the first public team game of Offworld. All right, I'm going to have them come over to the office and we'll discuss the results.
By the way, I didn't have sound at home.
You had between the two of you one iron
You couldn't hear anything?
I didn't hear anything. I don't know.
The Lewis family motto is insufferable in victory, inconsolable in defeat. So, yeah!
Oh, Scott.
It's nice that
you so bad next year.
Was that a high?
it's so adorable that he's finally won a game.
I beat you guys. I beat you guys.
We lit our labor up really well.
You did really well.
Oh, this is all the first time you won on stream, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at it. It's adorable.
This is my second streaming game. I'm 50-50.
Same here.
Was this a high aluminum medium iron?
It was pretty good. I don't recall.
Yeah, I saw I got resource bomb down to low and trace. So it might have been high and low. I didn't know, but when I saw
You had a high down in the corner that I didn't see until late in the game.
Yeah, but you got 3. I was like, "What? 3 metal mines? You almost never see that outside a team game." So yeah, I explained that like you were going on, you were making the iron and shoveling it to Scott.
Yeah. And then he went silicon and energy, and I went only water.
Right.
And that was a good division.
You guys cut it a little close on energy though.
Yeah, I mean,
he was the energy guy.
There's some serious UI problems. I'm gonna probably fire the UI guy after this game, but because like green was things that were red were supposed to be blue. Things were supposed to be blue.
Well, it was a nice
red.
move. You got perpetual motion.
We were positive on water, but it showed red the entire time.
Yeah, it's hard to test team games by yourself.
The
Well, we
other,
can now sort of look back through the video. And
there's a lot of in UI. There's a lot of like lockup that happens too, where
What
like
do you mean?
it just gets stuck in a mode. Like I'll go into like the engineering lab and I'll want to get
Those are
out
the
of
big
it
ones.
and do
The
something
tabs.
else, and it's just like no,
Okay,
I'm gonna stay up.
okay, I can look into that. Like, okay, so I can look at it.
And it does it with the off-world, like anything that has the pop-out menu.
It may be like it should be if you select another tile or you press escape or click anything,
Yeah,
like it should go away.
I usually just right click in the screen.
Right. So,
You
but
click
yeah,
the tab and go away, but there seems to be some sort of like hang up.
So the claims were amazing for the. I mean, it's just.
I had them
amazing.
For the expansive. Oh,
Yeah.
it
Oh
was
my
just
God.
yeah.
And then we bought every claim.
You can't. Yeah, I just
We
realized.
I was kind of confused what you guys were doing. Carbon was like the least present resource.
That
on the map.
auction early on, I didn't even want it. I was just like, Dorian, why are you waiting for the last second? Every time. I was like,
I didn't
just
realize-
bid on it, dude. Just bid on it. If you're gonna bid on it, bid on it. You're making everyone wait.
I
So
didn't
now
realize
you're
that.
you're briefing auctions.
I didn't even
You
think to brief the auction.
You
If I had
waited
meant that,
until-
I'd be happy.
Watch the video, dude. You waited until the last frame. I was like, he's gonna bid again.
I have no sound. I had no idea what was going on. I was just looking at it visually.
Basically, we were arguing. Oh, like it's like, should we bid on this? And we're like, what's our limit? And we get to a limit, and then we say, okay, I'm going to go up to this on this.
I think
Yeah.
something I realized in that game though is that you can't, like in a team game, you can't keep pace with expansive because of their extra claims. Because the extra claims are such a benefit because you can just specialize, like each person can specialize, that you don't have to worry about needing to use
That's
them
true.
on the things you normally do.
Yeah.
So like in a team game, if you're not expansive with your teammate and you're playing against expansive, you're not going to win. Like it won't happen.
Well, we didn't even really want to found as scavengers on
Well,
this
yeah, I
map.
was
We just
confused.
looked around.
There was like almost no carbon on the map. And like,
But
you
that's
grabbed
all
it
there
early.
was,
I
though.
thought maybe your guys' plan was you were going to short carbon.
The
or something
iron
like
was
that,
even worse than the carbon was.
It was
Like,
iron was pretty bad.
there was literally only enough resources on that map for 4 players, 2 of which had to be scavengers on that map.
We
Like,
were-
the
there was,
kind of
equipment in the
playing
iron
with
was just as bad. I'm not.
But
there was
You were
To
going
my
to play.
recollection,
You were gonna play
There's
scavengers.
there's one high in the bottom right.
so there's literally only 2 2 iron sources that I know of.
Yeah, I only saw low carbon.
There's 3. I see 3 there.
Oh, there's
but I mean, it's basically
There's a
low.
high
Yeah,
iron.
individual lows.
Yeah, it's
Right.
just like
You guys should grab that high iron. That would have really screwed them over. There's a medium way up here. Probably no one even saw it.
yeah.
Um,
It was a weird map. Like there's just a lot of dead space.
Yeah.
We were
Bottom left.
talking about going scavenger after we found almost no iron, and then once I found that little triangle, I was like, we're doing our initial plan of like
Right.
get metal and specialize.
I don't even think it's like I said though. I don't think it would even matter. I don't think in a team game you can be expansive
Well,
because of that.
one
Like,
thing
I don't
that
think it's possible.
I did like, it caught me by surprise, was the increase in the black market stuff. Makes it so that people can reliably get to size 3 on their own Steam, and like, there's not like the
or I increased the prices of the black market depending upon the number of teams in the game.
oh, okay.
Right. So if there's only 2 teams, and this goes the same for a duel when there's only 2 players, I figure basically if there are only 2 sides, the black market should be more valuable
Okay.
because it's like the zero-sum game. Like as opposed to like the 8-player free-for-all, like really you shouldn't be spending a lot of money on the black market because like you're going to hurt one other player, but you're probably not going to lose to that player anyway. Whereas in like a 2-team game, like for sure you want to buy stuff on the black market. Like there was that great moment you guys got perpetual motion and then you immediately got your geotherm dynamited, right? I was like,
Because
oh, look how much Toasticus is making out. Oh,
no one had bought the protection. And I said,
They're too expensive.
but he just dropped 14,000 for energy, and I'm like, and dynamite cost me 4,000. This is money well spent, and it was far enough away. I knew it was
The
gonna.
funny thing is, though, you're dynamiting this person who's going to be hurt the least by not having any.
No, because you'd be making money off.
Depends
Of
how
it.
you
See,
look
what
at
happened
it.
was, I think energy was like $50.
Yeah.
So you spend $14,000, and that $50 will turn into like $100 a tick, and you'll make your money back. And what I wanted you to do is just keep that deficit. Keep.
Well, I mean,
cash
it
flow.
raises the price of
Power is
energy
all over the
for
place.
when I do get that back online, at which point I'm going to make money at a very fast rate. Which did happen. I made like a good.
Then I
quite a
mutilated
bit on
it
energy.
Like I think I mutinated it twice, or you didn't notice.
You needed it once,
Once,
and
okay.
then yours got mutinied.
I didn't notice that.
by Josh.
Yeah, I mean it's facts.
That's why we were running negatives.
Yeah.
yeah, you guys are pretty close on energy.
And then I dynamited yours after shorting
How much did you
Yeah,
spend?
you had to
on
buy
Wi-Fi?
67,000 on energy. That's
That's
Monkey at 25.
I think that's the like for me that's the biggest takeaway though is like trying to figure out how to balance. Like if we're gonna have a team game, how do you balance the factions within a team game? Because it's a different dynamic, and the faction bonuses have a different impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, the bonuses I think that play up the most in the team game are in the scavenger because they have bonuses that help out the black market.
Well, I
It's-
feel like
well, here's why it's not, in my opinion. Like the scavenger's bonus is a black market cooldown. The black market's inherently more expensive in a team game, so their bonus is
Right. I mean,
automatically nerfed.
it may be well, they're still better off than everyone else is in that line. I mean,
In the
You
black
should have
market.
bought claims. We
Yeah.
bought every claim until it was
oh
like
jeez.
12,000.
Well, if that's true, then you guys that's a big
I don't know.
issue.
I will challenge anyone to beat an expansive team.
well,
All
one of the
right,
things
all
is,
right.
though,
Yeah, you're right. They bought
they had
4
the-
claims. You guys bought
Okay,
0.
I can be the moderator, and you can play my spot.
So basically, if you guys had bought those 4 claims instead of Ben, that would have almost negated all of their extra claims.
I don't know. There's times where I had extra claims. I was like, what am I even going to do
Yeah.
with these?
I
As
When I
scavengers,
bought you, I had like
Scavengers
5
get
claims.
extra claim too
Yeah.
because they don't.
I had
need-
nothing really
they
to
don't
do
need
with
the
them
steel
because
on
we just
top of
needed
the-
carbon.
the-
Like,
the
if
iron
there was
line.
a
I mean, it's just
single
such
spot
a-
in the map
that's
that
what
had
I'm
3
saying,
carbon in a
like,
row, it
so-
would have been a completely different game.
In a single player game, I think that's a relevant thing. It auto balances because of that. In a team game, it's not the same because like the expansive gets their extra claim, and normally they need it because they have to get iron and steel. But in this case, they don't because only one person's doing iron, the other person's doing steel. So it's like you can claim 2 iron and then build a bunch of steel.
So they get the
Good.
100% bonus instead of
Exactly.
50% bonus.
So you're getting way more of a bonus out of their hero ability or faction ability than any
it's
other.
not Hearthstone.
Yeah, than any other.
I mean, it could be, but like
But their minions are so good.
scavengers have an extra claim to use too. I mean, like I don't know. We'll just have to see. I mean, I think that if there are a lot of team games played, like we'll find out.
I think that's the thing. Is like we just need to play more team games to let stuff shake out. This was like the first team game we've done in
A
a
long time.
while.
Yeah, a few months.
Were
As
you not
evidenced
sharing your energy, your power on purpose?
No.
Because there's a point where you guys are
Not
sharing
that, it was an
everything.
accident.
Okay, you guys were sharing everything about power, and you were like just
Yeah.
right, and you were
I
making
was-
300 in a second. I was like, maybe they're doing it on purpose, like let you take on some debt, and you'll get some money off of it, which might be a valid strategy. I didn't know.
No, I just didn't realize it until later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. It would have been nice. Like, I really all I wanted to do was share everything because like I was in the room with
You think
Josh.
we should start with everything shared, and then you have the ability to turn it off?
Yeah.
I think
Or
so.
like some quick thing that turns everything on, because it was just sort of like click, 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 and
It's
Like,
sort
it's
of like
easy-
shopkeeping, a little bit of like putting the mail away. And
Yeah.
and,
and yeah, I don't know where to put that button, but I think there should be a button. Where
I think it's okay if it starts shared and you can disable it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean that's. I mean, if you're not sharing a team game,
Yeah.
you're like. You're
Well, I mean, the
going-
first times Dorian and I played, it was not a pleasant experience sharing one way. So it's like, here, Dorian, here's my stuff. So.
So
Every
we're not
relationship
both
is
done
take.
It was.
Familiar tale. Familiar tale.
It's hard when you're losing and you just see a stockpile of stuff and you haven't earned it, so it looks even better. You're like, that's $1,000.
That was actually one of the mistakes that I made.
mentioned-
I think late in the game was like when one of you started buying my stock. I bought my own stock instead of putting all my money into some resource and telling. Like I did this eventually. I was like, Josh, buy my stuff. He's like, oh, I don't have any money. I was like, I'm going to buy a bunch of electronics
Oh, yeah.
and I'll sell them.
You're gonna buy a bunch of what?
Electronics.
You
I mean,
guys,
any resource really,
by the way,
And
you guys,
the
I don't
money
understand
through
why you guys want to know electronics.
because they're shared.
Yeah.
You basically,
We
I take my money, I
you
convert
watched
it
the
into
video,
stuff.
we
and
upgraded-
sell it.
Oh, just
we
a
upgraded
way. It's a
way
way of
too slow.
transferring money.
We just couldn't get.
Basically, the Western Union of Offworld Trading Company is sharing a
Because we
resource,
didn't- and because
buying
we
a lot of
didn't
it.
think-
and
that's
that's-
what- I will adamantly say that I don't think it would be possible to be an expansive team. I don't think you can do it if you're not expansive.
Okay. Well, the gauntlet's been thrown. Next time we'll play. You get to play expansive,
I challenge you.
and,
I do.
and someone else, other teams cannot be expansive, and we'll
It'd
see.
be cool to have 3 teams if we have.
I don't think it's
better-
possible.
What, 3 teams?
Josh
not
is
possible.
salty.
No, no, no.
We were
Yeah,
both
it's
pretty
3
salty about
teams.
this.
No, I don't think it's possible to beat them. I think they're just their bonuses. Their
I
bonus
started buying your
claims.
stock, and I was like, Scott, I'm just buying his stock to tilt him. And then when he loses his, then I'll start to make a run on it. But we'll see what he does when I
That
buy
is-
2 stocks.
That is what the stock purchase is about. It's about the primal fear.
Because I only had like 20,000. I'm like, that's enough just to click, and then,
Especially if you can buy 2, because then they think like, oh, they're making a run.
and yeah, I was
No, you had a lot more. You bought like 4 in a row.
after I bought the 2, I started selling stuff. But I was just like, I just wanted to see what would happen, and the fact that like I didn't like you had been targeting my, or someone had been targeting my water money area.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah, I was basically keeping your water turned off for the entire game as much as possible.
There was a point in the game, a good long period of time, where
what was
I
it,
talked about this a
150?
lot, where the price of water. Look at this.
It's
It was
crazy.
double. It was double the price of food, double oxygen, double
I was
fuel.
practically
I was like,
screaming.
someone should, if someone EMP someone's farms, they're like giving them a gift, basically. Like,
That's,
like everyone should turn off their stuff.
I like. Josh was the one who was handling the water claims, and like water had gotten up to like $80, $90, and he only had
Tons
like
of
1
water
or 2
pumps. I don't know
claims.
what's
And I was like, Josh, fill more fucking water.
I
I'm going to
researched
strangle
your
you.
high water.
I was like, I will build water if you don't. Like,
Did you guys
build the
research water production?
No,
Dorian,
we
Dorian
didn't.
did
I had-
once. Oh man,
you
if
guys-
someone had researched water production, that probably could have made a huge
Yeah,
difference
well,
in the game.
I mean, I spent 4 claims late in the game, just like
The
Medium
expansive
water, medium
thing was this. I was like, Scott, we need water. And he's like, well, I have 9 claims. I'm like, get 4 water. I'm like, shit.
I'm like dun 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 dun. Okay,
And I'm like,
Yeah.
Scott, where's the water? And he's like, I'm going. Relax.
it's like we're sitting at +7. Come on,
And then I spent 4
right.
claims just on solar.
Did you guys
'Cause
have
I was
trouble
like,
managing your carbon? like you have one pool of carbon, and you both need like 400. To
We actually
upgrade.
had the standard like for single player. We both had 2 low carbon apiece.
Yeah, I saw that, but like still, you could one of you like if you guys are both about to upgrade, whichever
Yeah,
one
we just
upgrades
went
first.
back and
No, we
forth.
just called out upgrades. Like, all right, I'm about.
Yeah,
to
that's what I
upgrade.
mean. You organize it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna upgrade next, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. We called it out. And there's a couple times where it's like, hey man, you need to upgrade. It's like you probably can. It's like, oh, I don't have enough cash. It's like, all right, let me
Yeah.
buy some
I
of
mean,
these for you.
at the end of the game, it was fairly straightforward. Like, you got 2 off-road markets up.
Yeah.
And that was it, basically. Like, if you look at the revenue, it's not hugely different. It was just
How-
Both Goon Squad.
How close were you on your iron? Like, how did you have enough?
I
Like,
bought
you
a
had
lot of
how
iron.
many steel mills?
I had 3. I never go more than 3.
Only 3, and you had enough
But
for
he had
2
a-
off-road markets
he had a
that
low
fast?
he had a low iron, then 2 other metal mines next to it. So that basically
Right.
turned it into a high iron.
Well, it turned all of them into high irons.
Well, there's only one.
Yeah.
Oh.
It turned it into a high. It turned it into a high iron by
A
default.
high iron and 2 high aluminum,
Yeah.
essentially.
You had plenty of aluminum. that's
Oh
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, we were drowning out.
Yeah. That power, like the last game we played where there was the expansive and they got those little triangles of metal. I was like, that is the.
I'm surprised
that
you
is
didn't
the
Goon
game.
Squad your that
No.
aluminum iron.
I was just like, it's fine. Like if they're because we're fine on iron and there's enough iron on the map where I can supplement, right? Like it wasn't tragic. And you spent
Well,
instead of
beyond-
buying a claim,
Well, I mean, I
you
like Goon
made
Squad
it slightly
something
less great.
if I feel like I'm going to get the. It's like you get saved and you get their sabotage. Like, it's like, but
Yeah.
you guys are too busy buying up all the claims.
yeah.
I just
I think that's a mistake you guys made. Was their claims.
I don't think it would matter. I don't. I think like they have so many more claims to begin
I
with.
think if you let the expansive buy the claims, yes, you will lose.
Even if we bought like if
I
we bought,
agree with that statement.
no, if we had bought the claims, it would have meant that we couldn't have bought the other black market stuff, which we were trying to do to slow them down. But it's like I don't think you can.
Yeah, I understand, but I don't think you can let someone one side buy all the claims.
Like in theory, the advantage is, and this is honestly, I know that it won't work, but in theory, what he'll say is you could both buy a claim and a negative in the same time span, and so you should both be doing is you should get a claim, you should get a claim, and if you have any extra money in between that, get a negative that hits us.
I mean, maybe get a negative, maybe don't. I'm just saying, like, you can't let the other, like, it's an aggressive act to buy a claim because you can't let the other side get all the claims.
I
Right?
feel like claims need to be more foregrounded because more than any other resource. Like, if you miss buying a claim, like it's a really bad
Sure. Yeah.
and that is probably how like I've been winning against the AI now, and it's mainly just been buying
Buying
the
the
claims,
claims,
and it's just I mean it's just such a proponent like you just get so much more many more resources. So
Yeah. I may double the price of it at some point if like it goes. It just seems to be. But on the other hand, I don't necessarily see the downside of you know. If you make the price higher, it almost gives too much value to the person who gets there first. Whereas having the low price means that as long as people are playing, if 2 people are playing the game well, they should be able to split the first 2 claims, right?
Yeah, I like part of me would love it if there were, if claims like if all the auctions for the first 4 claims and the claims were like every I don't know. It almost feels like it would be great if everyone had their own price. And
It
time
definitely
for
helps
claims.
when there's a claim auction early on because then it's like if you don't get the claim auction, you just get on the black market or vice versa.
Yeah.
Um,
How many extra claims does expansive get over the course?
1 per upgrade, so 4 total.
Okay,
They don't start with an extra claim anymore.
But we found it
but you found it after.
3rd and 4th.
So,
That's yeah. So you guys basically got all the extra claims possible.
but even so, like even if that hadn't been the case, that would be 8 extra claims between the 2 of them.
Yeah, plus the 4 for the black market.
And
Were there claim
in a-
auctions?
I agree with you. In a single player
1,
game,
and I
it
think
balances out because, like, a faction like Scavengers wouldn't have to spend the claim on the steel mill, right?
Yeah.
But they only need to do that once, right? So they're only using that claim 1 time. So they essentially, from the get-go, are getting at least 6 extra claims.
Yeah.
Everything else being equal.
Well, I think we should take up your challenge. That's what we should do. I mean, again, I think half of those claims you guys made a choice to let them happen. So like, it's not
It's,
quite that straightforward.
I feel like choice is a little strong because
I think at the team, we're at the beginning. Like, we don't know strategies on the team game. For example, I think probably you got 2v2 game. You probably should not found your first 2 colonies before the other team founds. Probably that's a bad move because you're basically gifting 2 claims to the other team.
I feel like what I feel is a choice. Like what I feel is a distinct choice in the game is, I mean, like founding order is a choice.
Yeah.
Like auctions are a choice because it's like, okay, I see it,
Yeah.
I can react to it. But like the thing with black markets is they never like pop up. You may never have the money. Like you're always like below it, so it never like like foregrounds itself. And so
but in the team game for sure, with like sharing a stockpile, you gotta like if you make it a per, you can do it. Right?
I mean, I'm not disagreeing that it is like in the area of choices, but it's not something
it's just
that is
hard
like,
to remember.
It's just.
I know I miss it, and every time game I play a game where I miss it, I'm like
Right.
So I don't. It's weird because like it's a very important move.
Right.
Like should we literally have the button flash? But like that's almost like
I would
too
say
foregrounded.
perhaps.
Well, that's like if it's gotten to that point, maybe that's why I need double the price. Like if there's like one option in the game that like if you forget to notice it in that like 60-second window, like then something is wrong.
I mean, I think that right now I'm gonna make 2 buttons flash. One of them we already have the buy a button flash. Second is like upgrading.
Sure.
Upgrading should flash.
Sure, yeah.
And then I think that new claim should be like, this is low and you can get this money.
Honestly, I think the black market panel should flash when it's open, and then individual things turn on or off if you can afford them. Because having the entire black market disabled when you don't have enough money for anything doesn't help anyone.
Right.
Like that's not useful to me.
It's weird because it's 3 states like this is available, but you can't afford it. Like the black market is open, you can't afford anything. And so I don't know. It's just managing the player's attention.
Well, we could switch it to
I think just
like a time, like a bar filling timeout thing.
Right.
Like this is how long. Like essentially, that's what you have in Plants vs Zombies, right? Because that has a 3-state problem issue as well.
I guess
like
so,
you can afford something, you cannot afford something, and it's on timeout.
Right.
Right. So then we would have like the button is either clickable, which means you can afford it, or it's not clickable, means you can't afford it, and then you also see like.
Well, there's actually a 4th state, which is you currently own one and you can't buy another one. Like,
well, that's
you have a Dune squad.
I think we're okay with that.
Yeah.
But like then the other state is you see it's clickable, but you see the bar filling up, so you know.
Right.
It almost seems like it's the whole thing with a bar.
Well, the bar is going to be the same level for everything.
Right.
It's just.
I mean,
raise up,
it needs another pass. Like there's no question about it. So.
For me, it's just the main thing is just having the thing like be the panel be active looking.
Right. Yeah.
Whether or not I can afford anything.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's like to me,
if
it's disabled, to me that like mentally
so then you
I associate that with
you notice like I can't afford the claim. It's just that I'm this far
Right.
from like I just got to wait a few seconds. That would probably help a lot.
There's that. Yeah. I'm less concerned with being able to afford anything than whether it's available. That is more important information to me because I usually have stuff I can sell to buy it, but what's more important is like, is it available now? That's the important
So
thing.
in that case, if the cooldown was really noticeable, then every time you didn't see the cooldown, you kind of learn inherently it's available.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, another thing would be to make the startups have a significantly longer time to get to black market. So like the scavengers can get it twice as fast, and the startups or the expansions get it twice as slow because they have so many advantages. I'm just saying you don't like it, but it would balance it.
Well, I don't know. I like twice as slow is just like that's crazy. That would make robotics.
We're gonna do the Josh challenge.
Right.
Can anyone beat expansion?
Double
expansion.
I don't think you can.
I think expansions could be.
I think someone can play it in a way where they get beaten.
Certainly, that's certainly possible.
I think the.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody.